to now what we have learned, we have seen three basic class of proteins which are not directly involved in the replication, rather they assisted in the replication. The first one is the A proteins, A class protein, or we can say DNA proteins. Another is the SSB protein, and then helicases. We all know the function of these three proteins. Now come to the one point that if the DNA has to be replicated, like if the out you have the 23 pairs or the 46 chromosomes, so of course there are the DNAs. So if the one part of the DNA is open for replication, then there is not the thing that there is a selective. DNA replication is no selectivity. Like if you can say this point is open for replication, like this is the chromosome number 9. So I can say my chromosome number 9 should be replicated and 13 should be not. Once the replication has started, all the genome must be replicated simultaneously. But transcription is selective because this is dependent on another factors I am not discussing right now. But DNA replication is not selective. Once the replication is started, it occurs in whole genome simultaneously. But there is a thing, during the replication, euchromatin replicates first and heterochromatin replicates later. Like this is a priority matter. Even though in the practical life, we have some priorities. Even at the molecular level, some enzymes and some mechanisms have priorities. Right now, if you type out my hair follicle, which is not over there, and in the hair follicle, there are the genes present over there. Even though in my hair follicle, insulin gene is also present, keratin gene is also present, and albumin gene is also present. Do you think when the replication is start, although all the genome is simultaneously replicated, but when they are when they are going to the replication, the insulin gene is first replicated, or the you can say keratin gene is replicated? Yes, no one. In hair follicle, during the replication, insulin gene is replicated first, or the keratin? Keratin, because in my hair follicle, keratin gene has first priority, then the insulin. And if we talk about the beta cells of the pancreas, then there is first replication of priority replication is insulin, and then later on keratin must be replicated. I am not saying that it is not replicated. Replication simultaneously occur in all the DNA, but it is priority matters. So this is the DNA replication assisted protein. This is the DNA replication assisted proteins. A protein, helicase, and SSB. Now we will see the major picture. Okay, before going in detail of replication, I would like to mention one more concept. As you know, there is a bacteria. All the studies are doing over the bacteria, E. coli. Actually, in bacteria, we know there is a single circular chromosome. Whenever the replication over there is only one replication bubble. There is only one replication bubble like this. But human chromosome is far lengthier, almost 1 meter. So there must be the replication bubble one or more than one. One. Sorry, not one. One is only in the case of bacteria. In human case, there will be multiple replication bubble or multiple replication origin. So in human case or in mammals, the origin of replication or the replication bubble are multiple, but in bacteria there must be only one replication bubble. Now we will see in detail of the replication. Okay, I would draw the DNA like. Okay, I will draw this DNA right now. What is this area? This is origin of replication and forming replication bubble. This is DNA open. Right now, you know one DNA domain is 3N, like this here. One is 3N, another is 5N. Meanwhile, if I draw the one nitrogenous basis, right now I am drawing here. This is nitrogenous, this is sugar, nitrogenous and phosphate. If I draw the very simple molecule, so this is 5n, this is simply heart, inverted heart, and then this is nitrogenous base. So right now onward, if I draw this structure, it meant to nucleotide, it meant to one nucleotide, and this is 5n and this is 3n, like head end is 5 and tail end is 3. So meanwhile, if I draw over the DNA like this in my diagram, you will instantly recognize the nucleotide pattern. Okay, if this is a 3n, right? If this is a 3n and if this is a 5n, so this one, this should be the 5n, this should be the 3n, because there is a 3n, there must be the 5n, and there is a 5n, there must be the 3n. Now, if this is a 3n, this is a 3n strand, this is a 3n strand, so nucleotide must be like this fashion, nucleotide must be like this fashion. So I am just drawing over there some nucleotides for understanding purposes. This is 5n, this is 3n. So these are the nucleotides, and we have to open the DNA. We have opened the DNA, and these are its nitrogenous bases. These are its nitrogenous bases, and these are parental strand of the DNA. Don't forget it. Okay, right. This is 3 to 5n. This strand is 3 to 5n, and of course parallel to that, anti-parallel, and that is opposite to that, 5 to 3n. So if this is a 5 to 3n, there must be this 5n and there is 3n. Do you understand? Do you get it? This is 5n and there is 3n, and these are its nitrogenous bases, like now. And this is 5 to 3n. So what we have seen, this is the 3 to 5n, and these are the nucleotides pointing 3n to 5n, and these are the 5 to 3n, the nucleotides pointing 5 to 3n. As you can see, for your memory, I would like to draw one nucleotide over there. This is 5n, this is 3n, and this is nitrogenous base. 5n, 3n, nitrogenous base. And I am drawing like this pattern, like this here. This is a very simple form. Meanwhile, I know this is not a nucleotide properly. This is a just animated type. Right. Up to now, the associated, we can say assistant proteins, we can say enzymes working right now. The enzymes which we have done for opening are the A proteins. They open the DNA. They open the DNA by pull out. And then for stabilizing the DNA, we know there are the different proteins, and these proteins are, we can say, SSB proteins, which stabilizes this, stabilize the DNA. SSB. These are the SSB proteins which we know stabilizes the DNA. So A proteins, SSB protein, and don't forget the main helicases. Helicases proteins which are working at the points, at these points, helicases, and these points are known as replication for all of you know. Now, once the bed is decorated, then another action is come. Okay, don't think somewhere else. Actually, once the DNA is, we can say, prepared for the replication. What are the preparation for the DNA? We open the DNA, we stabilize the DNA into single-stranded configuration. Now, why we need to open the DNA? Why the enzymes which have to replicate the DNA is not working on a double-stranded? The answer is, simple answer is, DNA polymerase enzyme, so the RNA polymerase enzyme, or any transcripting enzymes also, they cannot work on the double strand. They have to work on the single strand. So for this reason we have to separate these two strands and then stabilize them by SSBs. This is one thing. Another thing, DNA polymerase III. Now the main, you can say, hero or the Spider-Man or the main enzyme come into action, and this enzyme is known as DNA. You can say this enzyme is very determined enzyme, very powerful enzyme, which is DNA polymerase 3. DNA polymerase 3, crown on the head. Understand? Okay. This is DNA polymerase 3 come into action. This enzyme has many demands. This is very, you can say, arrogant molecule, arrogant enzyme, have many demands. First of all, it demands is, I will work on the single strand. Okay, we have to provide the single strand by opening the DNA by A proteins. Another demand by this enzyme, it says I will work only from that point where the little stretch of the double stranded present, at least little stretch. Actually, don't confuse it with, like I am saying this enzyme has to work on the single strand. Yes, of course, this enzyme has to work on the single strand as well. But this enzyme will work on the single stretch of the DNA. Actually, this is work on the single. So what I am saying, DNA polymerase 3 has to work on the single strand. Okay, we have to provide it, and then it will work only from that point where at least little stretch of the double strand present over there. So for this purpose, another enzyme come over there and we can say provide a little stretch of DNA or little stretch of RNA. Actually, if this is a nucleotide, mean suppose this is a guanine, this is cytosine, this is thymine, this is adenine, again this is adenine, this is thymine. So this is the little stretch of the DNA, this is a single strand of the DNA. Meanwhile, another group of enzyme come over there. I will tell you the name of that enzyme later. This will synthesize a little stretch of RNA over there, and this stretch of RNA is complementary to this strand of DNA. As you can see, this is 5 and 3 n, this is 5 and 3 n, this is 5 to 3, and this is 3 to 5. And so if this is guanine, there is cytosine, this is guanine, there is cytosine, this is thymine, there should be adenine, there is adenine, so there should be uracil. So this is short stretch of RNA formed by an enzyme. What are that enzyme? Actually, this short stretch of RNA, okay, this short stretch of RNA is known as primer. And this primer is formed by another group of enzymes which are known as primase. So this is another group of enzymes which are coming over there and provided a short stretch of RNA to forming or to fulfill its demand. That there is a at least short, almost there is a 8 to 10 nucleotide, short stretch of double stranded, including the DNA and the RNA. Now, once the primer have established all the DNA, then DNA polymerase III come into action and synthesize the DNA. Now, DNA polymerase III has one domain and second domain. Actually, all of you must know that DNA polymerase enzymes, or we can say any transcripting enzymes, they read the DNA from. All of you must know that DNA polymerase enzymes, or we can say any transcripting enzymes, they read the DNA from 3 to 5. Okay. They read DNA from 3 to 5 and synthesize DNA from 5 to 3. This is very important to know. Okay, actually I have put the primer over there and I forgot that this is the 5 to 3. Meanwhile, suppose this is actually okay. This is 5 to 3. Okay, I will provide the stretcher over there also. Meanwhile, suppose this is another stretcher or the primer. This is primer, and primer is provided by primates. Primer is provided by primates. Now our black is primer. Remove it from there. Primer formed by the primates. What I said that DNA polymerase 3 enzyme read the DNA from 3 to 5 and synthesize the DNA from 5 to 3. So from it one domain, it will recognize or identify what is the nucleotide over there, and from the second domain, it will choose and bind over there. It will choose and bind over there. Like meanwhile, if it read the strand from 3 to 5, from this end, this star, 3 to 5, and if found there is a adenine, there is a adenine, there is a thymine, there is a guanine. From this strand it will read, and from this strand it will put the complementary bases in front of the parent strand. And now it will going to start the synthesize DNA. It will going to synthesize DNA. Like it is a adenine, there should be thymine, there should be thymine, there should be adenine, and same cytosine, and so on and so forth. What we have seen, DNA polymerase read the enzyme from 3 to 5 end and synthesize the new strand at 5 to 3 end. Like this is a 5 end, this is a 5 end, this is a 3 end. So from one domain, it will identify which nucleotide has been settled over the parental DNA, and from the second domain, it will choose the appropriate nucleotide or matching nucleotide and fit over there. And this manner, it synthesizes the new daughter DNA from 5 to 3 end. So what we have learned up to now, DNA polymerase 3 enzyme read the DNA from 3 to 5 and synthesize the DNA from 5 to 3 end. For this purpose, it has two domains. From one domain, it will check the nucleotide present in the parental strand, and then from the second domain, it will put the appropriate nucleotide or the matching nucleotide or the complementary nucleotide in front of parental strand. So this is the one function. Actually, this enzyme, because this enzyme has many demand, of course, it provides them some useful, we can say, functions or services. So whenever the DNA polymerase enzyme synthesize the new strand, like if this is a DNA, this enzyme standing over there and put this nucleotide over there, and then go ahead, and then put this nucleotide and then go ahead, and then put this nucleotide and go ahead. Before going ahead, it will proofread the backward nucleotide. It will proofread the previous nucleotide, either it matched properly or inappropriately. So it has another back domain, we can say there is another back domain or hidden eye. By this, it will check, like if this is DNA polymerase going ahead, from this domain it will check either A and T match appropriately or A bind to the G, which is inappropriate combination, inappropriate binding. So we can say A and T binds appropriately, and this enzyme will move ahead. So this way DNA polymerase enzyme provides the proofreading. Not only proofreading, once if it's standing over there, and from G, this is a parental G, and it will bind there A. It will bind there A and move ahead. And then from a backward domain, it will check this nucleotide sequence and it will find that there is a mismatch. There is a G over A node. There should be the G over C. So it has another domain also, cutter domain, from where it will cut that combination and again put the appropriate nucleotide over there, G and C, and then again proof it and then go ahead. So this is the enzyme, DNA polymerase 3 enzyme, which replicate the DNA in a very intricate or very precisely manner. Like there must be the minimal chances of the error mutation to DNA to DNA. So what DNA polymerase 3 doing? DNA polymerase synthesize the DNA. So what DNA polymerase 3 doing? DNA polymerase synthesize the DNA from 5 to 3 and read the DNA from 3 to 5 and proofread the DNA. Yes, proofread the DNA from 3 to 5 from backward, not forward. So proofread the DNA, proofread the DNA from 3 to 5. Understand? So this is the DNA polymerase function on the one step. Right now, this helicase enzyme opening the DNA further because this has to be moved ahead and this helicase opening the DNA further. Do you think when this helicase working over there and opening the DNA in this way, so the DNA which present over there or the far from the replication bubble, is that more twisted or less twisted? It should be the more twisted. Like if you open the rope and then open the rope, then the far distantly there must be the high twisted. So the same case with the DNA. If the helicase is open the DNA in this fashion, cutting the nitrogenous bases, and then though there will be the high twisted. So we have to cope up this situation also. For this situation, there are another group of enzymes which we can say correct these twisting or uncoil these twists, and we can say provide the smoothness in the replication process. So these group of enzymes come over there, and these are very special enzymes which uncoil or untwist the enzymes. These are very decent and sophisticated enzymes which come over there and from one domain. Actually, this is one domain, and there is holding a glue bottle which is ligase domain, and this is endonuclease domain, or we can say cut domain. By cut domain, it will open the DNA, like uncoil the twist, and again from this domain bind the DNA. So in this way, it will open the DNA and bind the DNA and open the coils. So at the end, DNA will open, or there is a less twisted over there. This enzyme known as, these group of enzymes are known as topoisomerases. So while the replication going over there, helicases move ahead and opening the DNA, and they are the distantly end, the DNA must be hyper twisted. So the group of enzyme which is topoisomerases, it will cut from one domain the DNA, then bind the DNA and lose the twisted topology. Actually, it changes the topology of the DNA. So this group of enzymes known as topoisomerase. But one thing remember, this enzyme cannot change the sequence of the nucleotide. If the change of the nucleotide sequence, there must be the mutation, but there is no over there. So these enzymes are also not direct replicating enzyme, but this is assistant enzyme, or we can say associated proteins. So what we have seen up to now, the DNA polymerase 3 synthesizes the DNA from 5 to 3. Actually, this DNA is from 5 to 3, and read the DNA from 3 to 5. And we have seen this one domain which is checking the nucleotide in the parental strand, and another domain it will put the appropriate match in front of the parental nucleotides and bind over there. And from the back mirror, we can say, or the back domain, it will also proofread is there any mismatch or is it correct. And if it finds any mismatch, it will cut by this domain, endonuclease domain, and then also again matches the appropriate nucleotide and go ahead. This is what we have seen up to now. And we have also talked about the topoisomerases, which open the DNA from its one domain and again bind the DNA from its ligase domain, and then change the topology of the DNA, or we can say untwist or uncoil the DNA. This is all we have seen right now. Now, actually we can see the replication going ahead in this manner. In this side. Like this DNA polymerase and like this is right now here and then here and then here. And meanwhile, we can say we know that both strands have been replicated simultaneously. But in this case, there is some trouble over there. The trouble is that because this strand is not 3 to 5. This strand is from 5 to 3 in this direction and 3 to 5 in this direction. And of course, this enzyme is not going to synthesize or replicate DNA from this side because it cannot synthesize the new strand from 3 to 5 or cannot read the strand from 5 to 3. So this enzyme has to work. Actually, it has no problem. The problem is that we should have to apply the short stretcher, or we can say the primer, at multiple stages. In this strand, which is the leading strand, actually the strand which is towards the replication fold is known as leading strand. This strand is known as leading strand, and the strand which is away from the fold is known as lagging strand. Now, on the leading strand there is no trouble. There is no we can say trouble or disturbance for the DNA polymerase. Once we have applied the primer, the DNA polymerase 3 has to work smoothly over the DNA, far from the DNA. But as far as the lagging strand is concerned, if we can say the primer is applied over there, because DNA polymerase 3 is not going to read the DNA from 5 to 3, is going to read the DNA from 3 to 5. As I already told, if they read from 3 to 5, synthesize from 5 to 3, and proofread from 3 to 5. So these must be remembered by your cerebral cortex. So if the primer is applied over there, and then the DNA polymerase come and synthesize the DNA, it will synthesize in this manner, like in previously. The synthesis manner or synthesis process is same like that. But there is a difference. What is the difference? We have applied the stretcher or applied the primer over there, and DNA polymerase synthesize the DNA in this fashion in 5 to 3 manner. This is 5, 2, 3, and read the strand from 3 to 5. Read the strand from 3 to 5 and apply the new strand on the 5 to 3. So what we have seen, DNA polymerase 3 enzyme synthesize the new strand 5 to 3 and read the strand from 3 to 5. And on the lagging strand, this is a lagging strand which is away from the fold. On the lagging strand, we have applied the stretcher, or we can say the primer. This is what is this primer? This is primer. Okay. Now you can see the helicase is pointing towards or further opening the DNA. Okay, let me open this side of the DNA further. We have to open the helicase is on action and it opens the DNA further. And here distantly topoisomerase is working on. Okay. So again, there is no problem. There is no problem on the leading strand. The real problem is on the lagging strand. And these are the nucleotides of the parental strand. Now, what the main principle? That principle is this: DNA polymerase 3 is not working as 5 to 3. It must read the DNA strand from 3 to 5 and synthesize the strand from 5 to 3. When the primerase put the primer over there, it will jump forward and again put the primer over there. Suppose if this is also primer. And again, meanwhile, suppose this is also primer. Actually, what we have seen on the leading strand, primerase put the primer only one strand. But on the lagging strand, it have to put the primer on multiple stages as far as DNA replication is going far. So DNA we can say the primase has to move along the DNA lagging strand. So it will move the associated proteins like suppose if this is a cycle. This is a protein on which the primase or initial protein, which protein is primase, which sits and running over the lagging strand. This complex is known as primosome. So what primosome have done, it move along the stretch of the strength of the DNA or the length of the DNA and putting the primer on the multiple of the DNA or the length of the DNA and putting the primer on the multiple stages or the multiple points of the lagging strands. So from here, if this is a primer, so the DNA must be synthesized in this manner, in 5 to 3 manner, and again the same case 5 to 3 manner. But before the DNA polymerases, okay, let me remove this SPSS proteins. Before the DNA polymerase synthesize the new strand from 5 to 3N, it will stop from this will done over here. It will stop the new nucleotide synthesis before the next primer, before the adjacent primer. Like from there, the DNA polymerase has to be start working, and they synthesize this nucleotide, this, and here it should be stopped. It will not bind the new nucleotide with the primer. It will just stop and leave this place. And the same case here, it will synthesize the new strand and just leave the space over there. Now what you have seen there are little stretches of the DNA. These one stretch of the DNA, this stretch of the DNA, and then this stretch of the DNA. These little short stretches of the DNA are known as Okazaki fragments. Okazaki fragments. What we have seen right now, there are short stretches of the DNA on the lagging strand. These stretches are known as Okazaki fragments. So right now, these Okazaki fragments are not bound with the next primer. Here is a space, here is also a space, here is also a space. Now another enzyme is come on action, and this enzyme is also DNA polymerase, but this time this is no DNA polymerase 3, this is DNA polymerase 1. This is polymerase 1. So this is DNA polymerase 1 come in action. It has two cutter domain. One cutter domain is 5 to 3 front and another is 3 to 5 domain. Actually what is done, DNA polymerase 1 come over there. Meanwhile suppose this is the DNA polymerase 1. This is the DNA polymerase 1. So it will cut this domain. This will use the 5 to 3 domain and cut the primer. Or pull out the primer. And from 3 to 5, it reads the DNA and then synthesize a new stretch of the DNA. Like you can see, primer has been removed by the DNA polymerase 1 and the new stretch of a new nucleotide of the DNA is synthesized. Again the same case here, DNA polymerase 1 is remove the stretcher and putting the new nucleotide. So DNA polymerase 1 pull out the stretcher and synthesize the DNA nucleotides. Here the same case, again here the same case. It will pull out the primer and synthesize the new nucleotides. But again, these nucleotides are not bound with these strands. These nucleotides are not bound with these nucleotides. So there is another group of enzyme come over there, and this group of enzyme is known as, or we can say enzyme. This enzyme is ligase. What ligase will do? Ligase will bind these stretches or these we can say fragments into a complete DNA. So in this way, Okazaki fragments form first of all DNA or by DNA polymerase 3. Then primer are removed by DNA polymerase 1, and DNA polymerase 1 also synthesize the new nucleotides in place of the stretcher, and then these short stretches of the nucleotides of the daughter DNA are joined by the ligase activity. In this way, at the end, we have the two strands of the DNA, or we can say the one is the parental strand and another is the daughter strand. So in this way, we can say we have semi-conserved the parental strand, or this application is semi-conservative. So up to now, what we have seen in a nutshell, what we have learned up to now. First of all, we have learned there is first class which open or scan the DNA are the A class protein, and then A class protein scan, A class protein what they do, scan and open, and then what come in action? SSBs, single strand binding proteins, which keep the double stranded DNA into the single stranded configuration. And then another protein comes over there, which is helicases protein. Helicases, what they do? They work at the fork, replication fork, and further open the DNA, move ahead. And then there are another group of proteins come over there, topoisomerases. What topoisomerases do? Topoisomerases do change the topology of the DNA, or we can say change the twist of the DNA by using the cut domain and the joining domain. They untwist or uncoil the DNA in a smooth fashion, topoisomerases. Then the main important, and we can say the hallmark of the DNA replication enzyme is the DNA polymerase 3 enzyme, which works on the single strand, but it needs the little stretch of the double strand of the DNA, at least almost 8 to 10 nucleotides, and then this short stretch is known as primer, which is formed by the primase. Another enzyme which is primase. Out of them, another DNA polymerase come over there, which remove the primase, or we can say primer from the lagging strand. This is called DNA polymerase 1. And then Okazaki fragments of the newly synthesized nucleotides, which are formed by the DNA polymerase 1, are synthesized or joined by the activity of the ligase. So these are the cascade, or we can say the main peoples or the main hierarchy of the DNA replication. Out of them, these three are very important. I am not saying that these are not important. Actually, if the DNA is not open, replication is not over there. If the DNA strands are not stabilized, replication is not over there. If the helicases are not, DNA is not further open, and the replication is not over there. And the topoisomerases, we disturb the topoisomerases, it cannot change the topology of the DNA or not untwist the DNA, then the replication is not over there. And of course, DNA polymerase 3 primase and the DNA pol 1, which are ultimately the main enzymes for the synthesis of the DNA. If they are primase and the DNA pol 1, which are ultimately the main enzymes for the synthesis of the DNA, if they are disturbed or they are not present over there, replication is also arrested. And at the end, ligase. And if ultimately we have succeeded to form the DNA completely, but there is no ligase, so there is no join, and the DNA will degenerate into fragments, and again there is no replication. So this is all about the replication, why replication is important, why we need the replication, and how the DNA replicate itself. So this is all the processes, and later on I will see what are the different. Actually, we can see DNA polymerase 3 are the very powerful enzyme, but every master has some weaknesses. So this enzyme also has some weaknesses. And what are the drugs which can interfere the DNA replication, we will see in the next lecture. So up to now, this is done about the DNA replication. Thank you.